Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday morning, YouTube family. Okay, today, guys, we're going to be discussing the dynamics of the baby mamas here on YouTube. All right. We're going to be talking about Keesha, the Leeway, Ashley. Y'all know her as Lely. We're going to be talking about Medusa, and we're going to be talking about My Jazzy Life. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a chance to come on into the room. How many of you are off today? Okay, I am off today. I'm so happy to be off, okay? Enjoying my life. I'm taking care of some of these household chores in here. Good morning, KP. Good morning, Queen K. Good morning, Latoy. Good morning, Tasha Nicole. All right, guys, so let me give you guys a chance to come on into the building, and then we're going to get started, okay? See what's going on out here on these YouTube streets, okay?
Hello?
Girl, have you heard what's going on these YouTube streets? It is crazy out here. They talking about POF babies. They talking about deadbeat dads and deadbeat moms. People are behind on child support over 20K and buying subscribers. Girl, you need to go live. Talk to you later. Okay, guys. Welcome, welcome. All right, guys. Good morning. Wait for it. Good morning, Doris. All right. We're going to get into it. Guys, we're going to start with Medusa Gotti going in on Jazz first. Okay, but guys, the real point of this live is to understand the dynamics of what's going on. Oh, and another set of women that I didn't speak about, we got we got Liv and we got Antonisha. So we got Nisha and Liv, we got Lely and Keesha, and then we got Jazz and Medusa. Now we know that these people are very different. The dynamics between all three are very different. Jazz is the new baby mama. Medusa is the baby mama from over a decade ago. All right. I don't even understand what their beef is, honestly. All right. Then you got Keesha and Lely. That's a whole different dynamic. Now, I know a lot of my subscribers, some of them do, but a lot of my subscribers do not watch Keesha Kate. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Give me 1 second, guys. Please hit the thumbs up on your way in. Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to start off with Medusa. She has an attitude with Jazz about, I think it's about either a video or her community tab. I can't remember, but we're going to get into it. So, 1 second, guys. All right, here we go. Okay. Let me make this bigger. All right, here we go.
Not as slimy as yesterday, but I still feel like it's a good slimy day. Y'all have no idea I'm really like low-key a comedian. And I do have a different, weird, odd sense of humor. And my humor is like more sarcastic and petty and, Team Scorpio. Scorpio gang in the building. If you're a Scorpio or you date a Scorpio or you got a friend that's a Scorpio, then you know a little bit of what I'm talking about. I think I'm driving too slow and I'm like driving like the speed limit. But I'll let y'all go ahead because I'm not in a rush. But I know what it feel like on them days when you in a rush, you trying to get somewhere, and everybody and their damn mama on the road driving slow, touring the city, driving Miss Daisy. I know you know. I know you know what I'm talking about. But there's some good days. You in no rush. You ain't got no time frame. You just enjoying every moment, living life on the back burner. I can't read too much of y'all comments, y'all, because I gotta get closer. I think I need to go get some glasses. I can see some of what y'all saying from here, but
Now, I think everybody in here knows who Medusa Gotti is, but just in case you don't, let me just do a quick rundown. All right. Medusa Gotti is Hip's baby mama from God knows when. All right. This was back in their early 20s. I think she's his first baby mama. She has his daughter that looks just like him, that he does not take care of, that Medusa does not have him on child support for. This is from when Chris and Jazz went live. All right. Y'all remember they were sitting on the couch. All right. And Chris said that child support was a scam. All right. So, people have mixed feelings about Medusa Gotti. So I kind of get it. Medusa was brought up by Jazz, did bring Medusa up. She brought his other baby mamas up. We know that she pulled them into the realm, right? Pulled them into YouTube. But on the other side of things, a lot of people think that Medusa is freeloading off of Jazz. She's using Jazz for clout. I kind of think that's a little bit funny, but they say she's using Jazz for clout. Okay. They say that Medusa needs to get a life. They say that Medusa is blackfishing. All right. They say that Medusa needs to basically get her own content instead of every 5 minutes getting on here talking about Jazz. I agree with some of it, but I don't agree with all of it. I'm kind of don't really have a dog in the fight with Jazz and Medusa. We know Jazz doesn't have a good history here. She's not a good mom. She's had a terrible back history of how she treated her kids. But the thing is, both of you guys have been used by hips. Okay, so you guys have more in common than you think. All right, so let me just continue on, guys. Let her talk and we'll continue. Hold on. All right.
I need to make my text bigger. I'm gonna be trying to read comments. Car, you gonna have to wait till I pass these two trucks before I get over. I ain't getting over this. Slow down and let you by. I can't lie, y'all. Yesterday, when I commented on Big Slime's community post, and I'm gonna say it was the community post because she somehow think that I watched her video and commented on the video. She said a couple of times that I watched the video. Girl, ain't nobody watch your video. Your stuff pops up on my thing all the time, and a lot of reactors pop up on my homepage. I don't know, home feed, whatever. I don't know the YouTube terminology for that screen, but it's got a little house on it in my phone app. And that's usually where I'm on YouTube when it comes to my Medusa Gotti channel. I don't do things on a laptop. I don't.
Guys, let me speed this up because Medusa talks really slow. I don't know why, because she's from California, but maybe she's been in Texas for a minute. But Jazz doesn't even talk this slow. But hold on, let me speed that up. All right.
You know, Only my phone has my Medusa Gotti YouTube channel logged into it. I don't have it logged in. My TV and all that's different. It's different accounts, you know. So my phone, and I don't really watch YouTube on my phone. I'll watch it on the TV. So my algorithm is going to be you. Whoa, semi truck just damn near
All
stopped.
right, so she's taking kind of a long time to get to the point. But okay, let me go and get into some of these comments down here. All right, let me say good morning to a couple people. Virgo Diva, Pretty Round Brown, Jackson Tabasco, TS. I think I said hi to Doris, but good morning, Doris. Victoria, Ty Cherie. Who we got? Keisha Jones, Say Cheese. All right, I'm gonna try to get everybody in here. Empis K. Yeah, so I think I got everybody so far. NB. All right, so NB, let me look at this comment that Wait For It put. Medusa seems like a good person, but until she gets her daughters deserve child support, she should just stop with Jazz already. I agree with that. I agree with that. Good point, Wait For It. NB said Medusa's supporter remind me of Lely's supporters, Jeremy's son's mother. I don't know what that parentheses means because, sometimes I don't know. Somebody will let me know down in the comments, but this is what people have a problem with. And I mentioned this on a live the other day. I think it might have been yesterday or the live before that, that some people are just here to support Medusa to piss Jazz off, right? Then you got some people that are just here to support Lely to piss Keesha off, right? Right? And then some people are here to support Nisha, even though Nisha doesn't have a platform, to piss Liv off. All right. Now, the reason why I feel like Nisha gets more support, more deserving support, is because she's doing something that she does not have to do, which is take care of Liv's kids. Keisha is not taking care of August, and Jazz is not taking care of any of Chris's other kids. So that would be the difference in dynamics of people say, well, Nisha was a side chick. People say Lely was a side chick. I don't know. Jazz, they don't have that dynamic over there. But do you guys understand where I'm going with this? And you said, Say Cheese says, Chris likes his chick slow. Medusa is so immature. Sorry, that hair is ridiculous. Look, I think it just start pouring down raining. But Medusa, she is like a character, right? Medusa is somewhat of a character. But you got, hey, Hair de la Creme, K Solo, good morning. Yeah, so you guys let me know what you think. Do you guys think that people literally support Lely because they're genuine or literally support Medusa? I don't think all of her supporters or all of their supporters are not genuine. But let's be clear. You have the content creators, Jazz, Liv, Keesha, right? And then you have the side chicks or the side baby mamas or whatever you want to call them, right? A lot of people will get mad when people talk about Lely because she's so well liked out on here in these YouTube streets. People don't really want to hear anybody say anything bad about Lely. Okay. I've been there before. All right. People were under my comments. Lely's this, Lely's that. Look, I don't have a dog in the fight, guys. Just understand that. What's up, Mimi? I don't have a dog in the fight, guys. All right. I'm just here to report what's going on. And lately, Keisha and Lely have had something to say to each other. They're going through a good old back and forth. And that's correct, MB. It was because of the hate for Jazz and Keisha that those two gained subscribers. I agree. And this is the thing. I do feel like there's a little smidget of people who do hate Keisha and hate Jazz. But disliking and hating are two different things, right, MB? So I'm not saying that nobody hates Jazz or nobody hates Keisha, but some people do actually hate these content creators. We have to be for real about it. Okay, I don't happen to hate Keesha. I don't really even dislike Keesha. I don't really have a. This is the thing, y'all. This is another thing I want to acknowledge. Keesha has her own sector. Keesha is not a part of the mommy sector. Keesha has been added into mommy sector content, but Keesha does have her own sector. And this is not the Keesha sector, I don't say. Yes, I'm doing a reaction on Keesha. Yes, I do talk about Keesha in the lead. The only part of Keesha that I talk about is this part, the Keesha Lely Jeremy dynamic. That's the only part that I'm really interested in. And right, Hair de la Creme, you like Lely because she's genuine, okay? You're genuine. You're probably a great person, but we got a smidget of people. They're a little cuckoo. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. Y'all know how it is out here in these YouTube streets. Half of us have sense, and the rest, I don't know. Okay, we got content creators that ain't got it all up there. It's a lot of weirdos out here, y'all. Y'all know that. All right, so, but yeah, some people support people genuinely, like Hair de la Creme. She actually supports Lily genuinely. But then you have other people who are gonna be mad. Keisha's supporters are gonna feel some type of way about Lily. Jazz's supporters are gonna feel some type of way about Medusa, right, guys? Right? So, all right, so, all right, so what I'm saying is Keesha has a whole sector, right? All right, so let me use this as an example. And Ty Cherie, I hope you don't get offended by this, sis, because I'm not out here to defend you. You know you're my YouTube sis. But Ty Cherie, she's from the Keesha sector. Okay? That's how I know her, from reacting off of Keesha. Keesha has her whole sector. She has her own reactors. She has people who support her. She's way bigger. She has way more people than Liv and Jazz, right? I do feel like Keesha has her own sector. I mean, y'all can disagree or whatever, but to me, I would say Keesha has her own sector, right? The main mommy sector is Strong Mommy Chrissy, Liv, and Jazz. That's the main people in the mommy sector. Now, you wouldn't, if you're not from the mommy sector per se, or you just entered the mommy sector, or the mommy sector is new to you, I'm gonna say like 2 or 3 years in, it is Keesha is the sector. Keesha is the content creator, and she has. See, we're not gonna know, guys. All right, Ty. So you agree? We're not gonna know, guys, because we're not the Keesha sector. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking to Dr. A, my sis. Yeah, Dr. A. You're not gonna know because you're not in the Keesha sector. You see what I'm saying? Keesha has her own whole sector going on now. She had her number one reactor, which was Paris, who I did love and support. I didn't think anything was wrong with what Paris was saying. I didn't watch Paris every time she went live or anything, but the Keesha people, and I hope you guys don't get mad when I call you this, okay? Because I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just saying it's like some Keesha people, but they're in our sector too, guys. So you got a lot of dynamics to this. So just to be clear, for those of you who don't know, you may not know genuinely. Like Dr. A, she genuinely didn't know because she's a mommy sector person. So she's not going to know that Keesha has her own sector. See, for those of, like, I know Keesha through watching my girl Love Lies and Lace Fronts, my girlfriend. That's how I know about Keesha. Right? So I'm not a deep into the Keesha thing, but I do want to get to know more so that I could possibly do a reaction on her if I am interested in what she's putting out. But so far, the only thing I'm interested in is the dynamics. Right, Ty, she does. That's what I was saying. And I didn't think I was wrong. Right, Desi. Keesha has her own sector. All right, guys. So we're on the same page with that. And I hope that clarified for you guys what I mean. I don't know if I laid it out correctly, but some people think, okay, Strong Mommy Chrissy is not a part of the mommy sector. To just to clarify, Strong Mommy Chrissy basically is the main part of the sector, but not now. Back then, you know what I mean? She was way more popular back, I'm gonna say about 4 or 5 years ago. Strong Mommy Chrissy was who Liv and Jazz are now, right? All right, y'all. So let's continue. Medusa, you got 5 minutes to lay your point out, sis.
Word off the road. Let me go ahead and speed past him real quick because we all seen Final Destination. I know y'all seen Final Destination. And I know it's affected something that you think or do in your life, whether you know it or not. Because you think, oh, that's dangerous. Let me go ahead and avoid that. Um, this is why I can't drive and be on live. And then I'm not reading the comments, so I'm not engaged in what y'all are saying or what y'all are commenting. I'm really just in my own little world, driving on the road, talking to y'all. And my memory is not as good as it should be. But I'm working on that. And the only reason why it's not as good, because I used to have a sharp memory, everything. But when you have narcissistic trauma done to you, it changes things. It changes certain parts. It affects certain parts of your brain that changes, the way you think, the way you act, what you might do, what you might not do, all that. So some things I'll be like not remembering until somebody can bring it up, bring it to my attention, and then, I could dive into it that way. But, when you heal all those things, then your memory starts to get better, and, things start to go back to who you truly are and not who you've been I don't even know the word to use to say it, like, not the way that trauma made you act or react, but, who you were before that, when you were just purely yourself. And that's why I'm like, Big Slime can talk about me all she wants and say whatever degrading or negative things that she wants to.
All right. So I'm gonna pause this real quick. So Latoy is saying, just like Jazz brought Medusa to the platform, Keesha brought Lely to the platform. That is so true. And here, Della Crim, I will be careful. If Keesha strikes the channel, then I don't think she's gonna strike it. But if she does strike the channel, I'll deal with it accordingly, sis. Thanks for the warning. All right, let's see what you guys are saying down here. Right, Ty, right. Because that's what I was saying about Strong Mommy Chrissy. People think she's so irrelevant. Well, Strong Mommy Chrissy was like one of the biggest people that people reacted on back in the day, guys. Not now so much because she doesn't put out any content for you to react on her. But back in the day, we were all talking about her. So anyway, let's continue.
It don't bother me because I've never really been one to be on my high horse and talk about everything that I have and everything that somebody else don't have. Why? Because I know that things can flip quickly. Things can change quickly. And if you're not grateful for your position and you using your position and your...
All right, so what Medusa is speaking on about Jazz saying what you don't have. I mean, Jazz was saying that Medusa lives with her mom. So Medusa moved from Texas. She had her own place. And then she had 2 babies by another deadbeat. Now, this is my only question to Medusa. All right, so hold on. I'm going to answer this question to Dr. A when I finish. But this is my only question to Medusa. Medusa, how is it a whole 10 years later and you still had another 2 kids, not even one? You waited 10 years to have a kid. So between 20-something and 30-something. And you still ended up with 2 deadbeats. How? How is that? You still ended up with a deadbeat. That's crazy to me. I would have thought you know to pick better. But if y'all, Medusa, her second baby daddy of her 2 sons, she has 1 daughter by Chris, 2 sons by a complete loser. He is some type of wannabe rapper. I hope he's not 30 years old, because if he out here 30 years old acting like that, his future is going nowhere. Okay? But sis, you got to make better choices. That's why she's saying she's a victim of narcissism. I don't know if I don't think she's talking about Chris. I think she's talking about the second baby daddy. All right. And we got 3 more minutes on Medusa, and then we're going to move on.
To try to flex power and try to say what you've done, and it's going to come tumbling down. It's going to come back and get you. It's a cycle. It's the way, it's energy. It's the way things flow. It's going to happen. But good job for your weight loss. Great job. It takes hard work. It takes money, obviously, because you didn't do it all through just hard work. You had some type of help, a shot, a pill, or whatever. I don't know, but we all know that. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Like I said, that was genuine. I was genuinely congratulating her on losing weight because I'm at a weight that I've never been, and I'm not used to it. I'm not that comfortable with it. Like when I look at myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've never had this extra. I've always had such a sharp jawline, and people used to think I was a man or once was a man because of how my facial features were. Because I was so skinny, I literally was so a twig. And the crazy part is, I always been.
Now that is funny to me, y'all. That Medusa just mentioned that people used to think she was a man. Now Medusa doesn't look like a man to me right here. But when Medusa had her hair cut short and she first came out, it was given manly. Okay? It was given manly. I don't necessarily hate Medusa, guys. I don't have a problem with Medusa. Whatever. I can take it or leave it. I don't think she's super interesting, but I don't feel like she's boring either. You said, I don't care for Medusa, but she didn't ask to be on here. Jazz brought her here. And if Jazz would have stayed out of her business and shit, the hell up and shut the hell up, we wouldn't have to form an opinion on Medusa. Correct, Virgo Diva. Good morning, India. All right, y'all. Let me see. All right, y'all. So I'm going to let her finish this statement and then we're going to move on.
Slimmer, but all the way up into end of high school, I was muscular. I had like very, very little body fat. I used to weight lift with the boys. Like I was an athlete. I ran track and I played soccer, and I was in shape. I played year round soccer, club team, traveling team, all that. So I was in like such good shape, and I never ate junk food. I never I used to eat so healthy, drank nothing really but water. Like being an athlete was life in every way. I'm not gonna. Anyways, and then when I got to college is when I started gaining some weight because I was working full time. I was a full time student, and I wasn't home cooking meals. I was eating fast food all the time. And all of a sudden, I was an athlete for all these years, and all of a sudden, I'm not. I didn't work out. I didn't go play on the side. Well, I did play, some soccer on the side. But
So do you guys think Chris has a type? We have Jazz and Medusa, both of them, we've said they given manly, right? And then they both were into sports. So I don't know. And then Jazz got on here and said that Medusa was a stud. Did you guys hear that? That Medusa was a stud? I heard it on Jazz's live that she did about Medusa. So Ezra's mom says she's obsessed with Jasmine. See, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna have people with all types of thoughts and opinions. Go ahead and express them down in the chat, guys. I asked you for your opinion and you're giving it to me. You said like Dusa like Liv, having babies, no job, making her mama be the responsible one, having bums as baby daddies. Okay. Don't hold back, sis. Yeah, Jazz is doing the best with the weight loss. And she is masculine looking. I don't think right here she's masculine looking. But yeah, so we're done with Medusa. All right, guys. Now we're going to move on. Hold on. All right, y'all. Let's get into Jazz real quick. We're going to look at the Jazz. I don't know where the one is where she's talking about Medusa. Let me see if I can find it, guys. Give me 1 second. I don't know if she hit it or is it still up. Wait a minute. Hold on. All right, guys, I'm going to put this on and then I'm going to try to find the one where she's talking about Medusa. So just give me a second. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. Okay.
It can be so fucking annoying. You know, one thing, I don't have to like a bitch, but when it comes to my kids, I'm cordial. Is that bad that I could be cordial with a bitch that I don't like? Is that bad? I want to know. Or is that a good thing? That means that, bitch, I can sit here and be in the same environment as somebody. I can be in the same room. I can be in the same, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that a bad thing? I would like to know. You know, it's not baby daddy number 2. She thinks he can't do no wrong. I've already. How can I think he can't do no wrong if I came on so down? If I came on here and I talked about him, I'm arguing with number 1. Don't put all that food in your mouth. Slow down. And he does it again. That's being mature. And you know, these motherfuckers are immature. First of all, he told me, okay.
Now, Jazz is going to have a problem with anybody that her men or man has dated or will be dating. Guys, somebody tell me, what is the name? What's up, Black and Bougie? Deborah. Look, somebody tell me, what is the name of that live? Hey, T Loving, with Jazz talking about Medusa. Who knows the name of that live? Because she changes these thumbnails and I cannot find it. So somebody let me know what the name of that is. But we're going to look at this and I'm going to try to find it.
This is how I feel. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Because I have her blocked on my social media anyways, right? Because people used to lurk on my page. But if somebody, I don't, and he's texting me talking shit. He's so annoying and he's so childish. I could really just ruin his life right now. He needs to leave me alone. So if somebody has your child in their custody, right? Just put it right there. If someone has your child and you can't get a hold, like, okay, no, you're not done. You need to eat more. So, okay, we'll just say this. So she has my kids, right? And my thing was, it's more of a, like I said, I could be cordial with a person to a certain extent, mature. Eat, take a bite. I can do that and not have a problem with you. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to my kids. So if I'm not dropping my kids off to him and I'm dropping them off to you, I feel like you're a liability if something happens to my kids and I can't get in contact with you. So I never, like I told y'all, I'm all for never blocking baby mamas, girlfriends, all that. I don't block anybody. Huh? Yeah. I only block one bitch and I'll tell you about who that is. But so my thing was, I asked him, I said earlier, I said, hey, if you don't mind, and it was just so, I'm not even gonna get on the first part because I thought that was weird in the first place, because why would you ask me to do something? Anyways, back to today. So you blocked me on the phone. I don't care about social media. I told him that. But when you have my kids and I have to drop them off to you, anything can happen. And he was like, well, you can call my phone. You're not there. So if something happens to my kids and I find out who knows how long later, just know that I'm gonna have a problem. That I just let it be known. Look, you can keep me blocked, keep that same energy. If something, it's crazy because he was like, no, I'm gonna talk to her. You're right. Because if it was vice versa, then I would want whoever you're talking to phone number. Thank you. If she has your kids, she's happening. I don't, that's why I say it could be Snapchat, it could be any social media. If it's that fucking serious. But honestly, I was like, and he just sitting here.
Okay, guys. All right. I found it, guys. All right. I found it. The live where she's talking crap about Medusa. And it's funny, y'all. So let's get into it. All right. Hold on. Let's share the screen.
Why are you still clocking into Jazz? Let's get the likes up. We got one like. I think sis needs a good read today. What y'all think? We got one like. Hey, I'm just so curious to why people are still checking for me. I'm the wrong one. And it's just so crazy. You know how when somebody just comments on your stuff and they just sound dumb? You can obviously tell that this person knows nothing about content for working out or weight loss or just content in general. Because as a content creator, what do, y'all? We use certain words, taglines, phrases in order to get people to come and look. Oh, how did she grow a BBL? Of course we know that a BBL is a cosmetic surgery, smart ass. Of course we know that.
Jazz, actually, we don't know when it comes to you because of your inability to read, write, spell, and articulate and comprehend. Sometimes when you are explaining stuff, we think that's what you mean. You don't have a wide range of vocabulary and you don't have the ability to explain stuff so that we understand it. So when you say stuff a certain way, we don't understand what you're talking about.
That. But it still got you to come click over here on my page. So that means you were really considering, I wonder if she can. Let me YouTube it, let me Google it, but let me look around. But you had the nerve to come to my page. If you're going to come to my page and get information, come and be respectful. My name is Jasmine. You can call me Jazz. You can call me Jasmine, Jazzy, Legends Mom. You don't even got to say my motherfucking name, sis. You don't got to say my name. You don't got to say my name.
Thanks, India says. Just found it.
Don't ever come disrespect me on my shit. You lucky I give you the opportunity to be able to come to my page and comment. A lot of bitches don't get that. A lot of bitches don't get that. You're lucky. I haven't blocked you. I give you the opportunity to speak freely. Look, don't bite the hand that feeds you, sis, but at the same time.
Jazz, you be going too far with that. You are not feeding Medusa. Let's take food stamps are feeding Medusa, okay? You're not feeding Medusa. Medusa has said, Medusa doesn't even go live enough or talk about you enough for you to actually generate real income for her. So let's not go too far, sis. Let's not go too far.
We already know that she got notifications on, so I'm pretty sure she got my notification. She don't go live, I'm pretty sure, because she needs the views, because those 27 views ain't viewing. So I get it. It's cool. It's cool. They not viewing, sis. Right. It's cool. But don't come on my page being disrespectful. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Because, bitch, you eat off of me. Because them grocery hauls ain't doing it for you, obviously.
All right, so even though she's talking about Medusa right now, let's just go back to the last video we were looking at. And Virgo Diva says, Jazz, don't be mad because Hannah doesn't want to be your sister wife. She hasn't done anything to our knowledge except treat those kids like they should be treated. Jazz is just trying to be messy. Jazz does not like anybody that her baby fathers deal with or used to deal with. Jazz argues with the wrong people. Jazz has energy for the wrong people. Jazz pretend like she's defending her kids. Jazz, where is this energy for Hips? Where is this negative energy for Hips who left you high and dry and has abandoned your son? You can't even get your son's hair cut. And you're sitting on here arguing back and forth with Medusa about what? Be happy that she did make a comment so you can make the money because you was the one on here crying and whining 2 weeks ago saying you couldn't pay the rest of your bills, telling us that your rent was paid but that you can't pay the rest of your bills. So now what? Now what? Okay. Girl.
You gotta be mental as fuck to speak on on the other baby mama. And you know what? I'm not even with the man. How about you worry about getting your money because I get my money? Like, I ain't even trying to bring my situation.
You're not with Philip either, but you speak on him every other video. Every other day, she's mad at Philip. That anger needs to be centered on hips. He's the one that should be giving you some child support for Legend. He's the one that ran your credit into the ground with these $900 car payments for a bum ass ninja. He's the one that used you and dropped you. So the anger is never concentrated at the right person. She's never has anger for the people who she needs to have the anger for. Liv was on this internet, on Beyonce's internet, dragging you for 2-3 years, however long since y'all stopped speaking. The first time y'all stopped speaking, she called you slow. Then she went back to, oh, Jazz is not slow. We all know you're slow. That's not debatable. But you have all this energy for everybody else. Chrissy came on here and dragged you. You didn't do a damn thing about it. People been dragging. And you know what? People are not actually dragging your kids. Some are. But they're dragging you as a mother in the way you take care of your kids. There is a difference, sis.
Situation into the works, but you really worried about the wrong person. You worried about the wrong person. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me and disrespecting me, calling me big slime. Oh, because what? Because I'm taller than you? Because, bitch, I don't want to be your weight. Of course not. But, bitch, I ain't big. Bitch, I worked my ass off. I don't want to be looking like you. I don't want to be no goddamn toothpick. No skinny ass fucking girl. Look, I try not to get on here and be disrespectful, but I be feeling like a bitch just needs to get red because you coming on this bitch looking like a clown with that fucking hair color. Don't come to my page, you clown. You're a clown. You're a clown. I laugh at bitches like you. I laugh at bitches like you. But I love bitches like you because y'all keep coming back. Say it.
Why
say you
wasn't
don't.
the read for Liv
say
like
you
this,
don't.
y'all? Why wasn't the read for Liv like this, y'all? You talking mad stuff about Medusa, but Medusa, technically, y'all have the least beef. Now, you said that girl brought her kid. You talked about Medusa's daughter. Said she brought her daughter over to the house and she couldn't even read. And she said, Medusa, this is the video where she said Medusa was a whole stud.
Bitch, you went and comment on my video talking about, you can't grow a BBL. Bitch, duh. Are you stupid or are you dumb? Because you're not smart. Everybody knows that. Everybody in the world know that was a tagline. Everybody in the world, but you wanted to come to my page because, bitch, I'm that bitch and you're nothing. You're nothing. You hear me? You're nothing without me on the YouTube streets, sis. You're nothing. You need me. If you don't need me, I bet you won't go. I dare you. I dare you not to go live and talk about me.
Jazz, come on now. This is where she's doing too much. That girl do not need you on the YouTube streets. Yes, wait a minute. Let's answer this question with facts. Does Medusa get more views when she talks about Jazz? Yes, she does. Yeah, that's a fact. Does Medusa probably gain a little of her clout from Jazz? Yes. But Jazz, you brought her here. We wouldn't know about Medusa. We wouldn't even know she existed until you started getting mad or talking crap about Chris's exes and his baby mamas, okay? We wouldn't know about it.
What you gonna say? You keep calling me big slime. What you gonna, like, come on now. What else can you say now? What else? Like, bitches, y'all had me come sit my ass the fuck down. I was like, let me change this diaper and go and fuck it. Y'all made me come sit down. See, bitches like you, when a bitch start losing weight and you still stuck on the same shit. You bitches don't grow. You bitches are just, you stagnant. That's what you is. You stagnant. You're a stagnant bitch. You'll never. I'm here, bitch. You're, bitch. I try to be respectful and I try to just shut the fuck up for the majority of the time. But man, like that, I ain't with Chris. So, bitch, I ain't got no motherfucking filter. Fuck you, bitch. Sorry. Go worry about that nigga and getting your motherfucking money. You're worried about me. Me, bitch, you're worried about me.
Jazz, you need to worry about that nigga and getting your money. Because if you think a nigga gonna keep dragging on me like that, see, that's what both of y'all get for messing with these bum ass niggas. Ain't no way. Oh no, nigga gonna drag on me like that. And sit up there and leave me with the bills. No, nigga, you paying all these bills, okay? And I'll pay a fee if I feel like it. See, and I don't mean no harm, but both of y'all need to get a job, a real job. See, Medusa, that might have worked, you working as a waitress or whatever you were doing, a hostess and all these gigs when you had one child, because it was just you. And I forgot Chris's daughter's name right now, but it was just you and your daughter. You needed a 2-bedroom apartment. Now you got 3 kids and yourself. These little side gigs, you need to get a full-time job, in my opinion, until you land and Jazz needs a job as well, and do YouTube on the side. That's what I think both of you guys need to be doing. Because obviously you guys are struggling. Medusa, you're struggling because you're living with your mama. All right. And Jazz, you are a struggle. Your whole life is a struggle. So that's nothing new to you.
Make sure you let everybody know where you came from. Because you're my motherfucking son. Huh? No, she's not a reactor. She's just a attention-seeking, wannabe Jazzy baby mama number 2. How dare you, bitch? Bite the motherfucking hand that feeds you. Bitch, I feed you. I feed you. Here's your spoon. Here, bitch. Eat it up. Eat, bitch. Play me if you want to. Girl, I can't even call her a reactor because she tries to get on here and show her life. She tries to get, because I seen her little content. Look, unlike the bitches like her, I seen her little content. She tried, you know how you can tell when somebody, look, let me tell, because y'all try to say, I did this before. Because I actually got friends that are content creators and we would branch off each other. This bitch don't know me, but you can tell this bitch watches me, right? And her phrases she used when she did her little grocery hauls or her little shopping videos, bitch, you want to be me. You want to be me. What you gonna say? You try to be black because you're not black. You try to talk about a black person. Oh, you're a big slime. Bitch, I am the bitch. I'm the bitch that feeds you. Change my name to the bitch that feeds me. Ooh. Don't call me big slime. Because I'm not slimy. I'm the bitch that feeds you. You need me to eat. You need me to eat. Because if you don't have me, then your views just go. Because nobody give a fuck about your grocery haul. Nobody give a fuck that you live with your mom. This bitch try to drag me for little shit. Bitch, at least I got a motherfucking house. I got my own shit. Oh, my parents do this. I don't give a fuck, bitch. That means you are not independent. You are a weak bitch. And I'm calling you a bitch this whole life. Oh my God. What grown woman wear little girls folded over lace stockings and gloves?
Basically, Medusa kind of lives in her own world. Now, we all live in our own world to an extent, right? But Medusa, she's just, I don't even want to say weird. She's her own person. Let's put it that way, right? I mean, we all are, and you should be. But the thing is, what is her end game is what I'm trying to figure out. You got all these ideas, but you have 3 kids now, Medusa. I don't know, guys. I just feel like she has the babies and then she acts like the fathers are not doing. I don't know if it's an act or is it real now with Medusa, because this happened a second time, almost exactly how it happened last time. Is it Medusa or is it the men? Yes, the men are horrible men, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think.
Child. I think that woman is just, I think she got problems too. It's crazy how these bitches come out of the woodworks that got problems. Like, she got problems. She got problems. I tried to spare your ass because you Chris's baby mama. I tried to spare your ass so many goddamn times, but you really be playing with me. You really be playing with me, bitch. I don't play them motherfucking games. I seen all them dumbass comments. I seen comments, videos, and I tried to spare your ass. I tried to be nice. This bitch got on the internet and tried to say that my son wasn't his. Like she was in the bed with us fucking. Bitch, you were nowhere to be found, bitch. You didn't give a fuck about you or what you had going on. So you can kiss my ass. You can kiss my ass. So all I want to ask is, while you're over here checking for me and taking the time to comment on my page, did you go and just message your baby daddy and maybe try to let him see his child? anytime soon? Because just as simple as it is for you to come comment on my fucking page, it's just that simple for you to go to his.
See, what really happened is Jazz had a low income, even though she was doing all those vlogs last month. So Jazz needed to turn it up a notch, right? So Jazz started beefing with Liv. She started beefing with Medusa. She started talking crap about Philip. That's really what's going on with Jazz. Okay, she has no content. That's what's really going on with her. All right, let me see what y'all saying down here. Jazz, stop it. You're so fake with these beefs, flipping out over stupidity. Listen to her, sounding manic. All right, hold on, y'all. Let me go now. Right. Jazz only gets views with drama. And even then, it's a struggle because she really doesn't know how to do a good read. Right? She's stagnant. I think Medusa and Jazz are stagnant. How can you come out 10 years later and you still pick the wrong man? That is weird to me. Come on now, y'all. So when I'm 20, I'm doing the same thing I was doing when I'm 30? Nah, that's something ain't right. You got to level up, and it's no leveling up going. You're going backwards. You're having 2 kids by a deadbeat, just like Jazz. You have 4 kids by somebody with a horrible SA record. You proceed to have another kid with a bum who isn't helping you do anything. You had to play the man role in the relationship, and now he left you. Philip left you while he was in jail. How pathetic is that? Who gets dumped in jail? Then Chris used you to build himself up, got his job, got a better job, got you to get him a car, and got away from you, cheated on you. And now he's probably dating somebody else, living his best life. It's weird. It is weird. Let me see what y'all talking about. Oh, yeah, she does that all the time, Black and Bougie. Her word last, I'm gonna say in April, what are we in May? Her word in March and April was bad boy. She wouldn't stop using that word. All right, y'all, let me continue on.
Go to your little phone, go to your text messages, and text the nigga. And then on top of that, like, you calling my phone, you being childish. Like, bitch, what? You calling, playing on my phone? Like, grow up, sis. Grow up. Grow up. You got a daughter and 2 boys? I think she has had a baby boy. Grow up. Damn, I feel like I gotta help bitches grow up. Huh. They called her out for saying the N-word while singing a song. You can't use the N-word. You can't. You cannot. I don't care where you grew up. I don't care how many black men you've been with, bitch. You're not a nigga, and you can't use the nigga word. You ain't a nigga. You're going to get beat up behind using that word. You don't get no passes just because you had a black man or a couple of them. Girl, you want to sit here and talk about me, but you was a whole stud. Don't play with me, bitch. Don't play with me. Talk about Big Slime. Okay, study stud. Oh, yeah? Yeah, how you feel? Yeah. Don't play with me. Black women are so masculine. Like, bro, settle down. No.
Now, why would you read that comment? That's where the slowness come in. If somebody come in your chat trolling with that, just block them. Why would you read that? Jed was a stud too, though. Okay. Now, right here on this particular video, I don't think Jazz looks bad here, but that's because she has put some concealer on that bumpy face. But when she was with Chris, she did act real manly and masculine. And it was weird. Chris was her woman, all right? He had the bigger butt. Chris was Jazz's woman, guys. But look, getting back to the whole point of this live. So it was the dynamics. People get mad. You know, people are down. When I make a live live or a live video, people are down in the comments like, you guys are always taking up for Nisha. Nisha is a whole side chick. Look, nobody said Nisha was perfect, guys. Nisha came in, right? Remember back when Liv went live, when she moved, I think she had moved to Texas. it was probably 3 times before this, either 2 times before this or 3 times before this. I feel like it was right after she lied about buying that house, right? Liv moved back to Texas, following after Gerard. Y'all remember she came live crying real hard in the car. It was dark outside, and she said he left Nisha and said he was gonna come back to her, and he came back to her, and then they got in an argument, and he went right back to Nisha. That's when she found out that Gerard was living with Nisha. Nobody ever said Nisha was perfect. None of these women are perfect. And even though that's a different dynamic, it's still 2 baby mamas. No, wait a minute. Let me back up. Nisha is not a baby mama. So Nisha is the only one in the comparison that is not a baby mama, because Nisha doesn't have any kids. But it's still 2 women getting into it over a man. Gerard left Nisha the first time to go back to Liv, to marry Liv. All right. Gerard left Nisha. He went back and he married Liv. Then he came. They got into it. She cheated with Maurice. She probably had the thrush and all this stuff. Blah blah blah. They weren't getting along because he said he would go to work, come home. She ain't cooked dinner. She ain't washed her butt. She ain't cleaned nothing. The whole house was a mess. The kids running around with snotty noses. He couldn't take it anymore, right? So it's a back and forth. Oh, Southside says they said Antonisha and Gerard met in high school. Yeah, they might have met in high school, but I don't know if they were a thing or anything. We don't know, what happened with these people. All we know is that it's playing out on YouTube, and we're here to be entertained by it. So get your popcorn, okay?
She reminds me of Jim Carrey. She should feel dumb. All the reactors that kiss her tail for tea no longer need her now. They pay her dust. She's nobody. She got to be a reactor. She got to react on me just to stay afloat.
Hey, Planet.
That says a lot. And I dare you, bitch. Get on here and lie. Get on here and lie. Because, bitch, if you didn't need me, if you really wasn't that bitch, and you was really that good at every video that you said my name, or you spoke about me, or you spoke about myself.
Right. So Verena makes a good point. Gerard didn't really want to marry Liv at the time. He thought he was doing the right thing. I agree with that, Verena. Right? So Gerard and Liv and Nisha have been a love triangle that has been going on for a long time. This had to be a good 5 years. Because what I don't even remember, what year was it that she fake bought that house? What year was that? Do you guys remember? That was probably like, 2024? That had to be like 2020. So that was a good 4 years ago. Yeah, Gerard was with Antonisha. He left Antonisha, came back to Liv. I think Liv was in Florida. She bought the house with the pool out back. Remember Gerard showed up in that video? Oh, hey guys. Oh, this is a nice house. Gerard didn't live in that house with her. She couldn't afford that house. She was twerking on the counter, getting drunk every night, acting a whole fool down in Florida. The house was real nice. Yes, moving in silence. Chris was Jazz's woman. Yes. Because he didn't play the man role in that relationship. You guys saw it play out. He literally made her pay all the bills. Y'all heard what Mom Duke said. All right. Make me pull this comment up that that chat where that Liv posted. It was on her community wall talking about Mom Duke said Chris does nothing. He does nothing is what she said. Hold on. Yeah, he does nothing. That's what Mom Duke said. He doesn't pay any bills. He doesn't help with the kids. A lot of bad stuff has been said about Hips. And we believe it because even Chrissy said it. Even Chrissy said that stuff about him. All right, let me see what else y'all getting into. Hey, Pure Intentions. Hey, Planet. You guys are rolling in. Please hit the thumbs up for me, guys. Hey, Paulette. All right, guys. So basically, we're here to discuss the dynamics. We're not really getting too deep. Of course, we're going to go deep. You know how we do, but we're not. We're basically touching the surface with, and we're starting off with the points for everybody just coming in. Keesha is to Lely. Now, Keesha and Lely, guys, they have a whole different dynamic. Now, their stuff goes deep. All right, so we're going to move on to Lely and Keesha now. I'm going to pull that up. So give me a second, guys. Now, for those of you who do not know, Lely went live the other day, sis, and she had some things to say about Keesha. Now, let me see. I don't know who went live first, y'all. Verena or Ty, one of y'all. Can y'all tell me who went live first if you guys know? Look, I'm depending on you guys that kind of help me out. India. So I don't know who was here back when I started, but I was just explaining to all right, so Lely went live first. All right, so Lely did her live first. Thanks, Verena. Lely went live first, and then Keesha came behind Lely because she had something to say to try to correct what Lely had said, right? So let's go over to Lely's live first. It is titled Grown Woman for Work. Let's address the elephant. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna pull this up here. So, guys, Lely, for those of you who don't know, Lely is Jeremy's baby mama. Now, Keesha says, like when you have a baby out of wedlock. No, it's nothing like when you have a baby out of wedlock because you're not married, Keesha. Okay, let's start there. But hold on, y'all. Let me pull it up. And then Keesha went live to, I guess, clap back at Lely. So we are going to get into it, you guys. Let's see what Lely had to say because Lely is agitated with Keesha.
The girl's birthday, the twins' birthday is today. So we met with them to go get some lunch. That was great. Then we went to the pool, chilled out a little bit. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Ooh. My allergies, it's been raining a little bit and kind of like gloomy outside. I feel like that's my allergies really cut up. Hey, ladies. Hey. So today, y'all, my lives always seem to go kind of long, but I'm going to try to keep it cute and keep it short today. But we're going to see how that go. We're going to see how that go. Yes, happy birthday to the twins.
Guys, I just want to reiterate what we were saying. So uniquely assist, I just want to say to people who don't know, remember, we're in the mommy sector. Now we're entering into the Keesha sector right now. People are going to have things to say. Keesha people, get them together, okay? I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. But what I'm saying is, for those of you who are, mommy sector people only, we're going and we're wandering off into a different sector. We're going into the Keesha Kaylee sector. Now, y'all know who Keesha Kaylee is. This is the girl that Jeremy had the baby with while he was messing with Keesha. While him and Keesha are together, Jeremy had a baby with her. People are going to say all kinds of things. Just form your own thoughts and opinions, okay? We're going to go into this. People are going to be roasting people. I already know how y'all get down. We're a messy sector. We're here for the mess. Let's be clear. We're all here for the mess, right? This is August, Jeremy's son. This is his mother, all right? So let's get into this live. This is Lely, guys. She has her own channel here. Like we said, just like Jazz brought Medusa up to YouTube, Keesha brought Lely up to YouTube. Right? I think it was with the pamphlet, guys? I know they said that she gave him a hall pass. See, this is the thing. I'm probably going to need one of you Keesha people. Sorry, I'm keep calling y'all that, but I have to differentiate. To come up and give me a breakdown because I really don't know the backstory on that. So I'll probably drop the link, but let's go ahead and watch the video first. And if one of you guys want to come up, let me know. I thought the pamphlet kicked it off. That's what I was thinking, Virgo Diva, but I'm not positive because, like I said, I'm not a Keesha person. If we were talking about one of the main moms of this sector, then I can tell you. But yeah, they said the pamphlet kicked it off. So let's take a look, guys. Let's see what Lely has to say, because she's not happy about what's going on over there with Keesha and Germ.
Y'all got any plans this weekend for Memorial Day weekend? I'm trying to see where the barbecues is at. Trying to see where the barbecues is at. Get all my utensils and stuff.
Okay, important information that us messy mommy sector people need to know. Pure Intention says Keesha is a baby mama and the dumb one because she has 3. Bought him a few cars, a house, and now headed to court for not paying her credit card bills. She's maxed out on him. Let's be clear. If Pure Intentions is saying it, then it's facts, okay? It is facts, okay? We know that Keesha is another one. All right, somebody said earlier in the chat, I can't remember who it was, that she reminds them of Jazz. Keesha takes care of her man like Jazz took care of Hips. It might not be on the same level, but it's facts. All right, let's continue.
I know that's right. I just want to eat and sleep, honestly. And then what's up with black people? Every time I be telling people that lately meat and jalapenos been like this, like I don't know what it is. They like, you sure you're not pregnant? Girl, don't wish that on me. What's wrong with you? Okay, happy birthday. Thank you. Hello, lovelies. Okay. Your daughter moving cross country. Where's she going? Yeah, I want some.
Okay, another important fact for mommy sector people to take notes on. It is said that Keesha gave Jeremy a hall pass. All right? It is stated. See, this is stuff that I don't know the facts on. When I know the facts, I'll talk about them as their facts, but you guys will back me up. It is stated, let me go back here, that Keesha gave Jeremy a hall pass to cheat with a woman. This is the woman. It is also stated, and correct me if I'm wrong, Keesha people, you know who you are out there. Right, disclaimer. Wait a minute. Wrong comment. The comments are moving, guys. It is also stated. Let me know, y'all. Verena, Ty, I think Vicky too. I'm gonna say pure Verena, Ty, and Vicky. I think TS knows about this as well, and Desi. So anybody in the chat, let me know. It is also stated that not only did Keesha give him the hall pass, she picked Lely for him. Is that true, guys? Am I right with this? Because one thing we don't do here is make up stuff. We don't make up stuff. We try to, even if we don't have all the facts, we try to build the best opinion that would 90% of it, we got the details on it. Whatever the details are surrounding it, what I'm saying should be leading towards a fact. Okay? So let me know. Yeah, no hall pass. Right. And yeah, she looks like Ari. That's who she looks like. Everybody says that. She looks like Ari, except for she's taller. I also think Tavelli probably knows a bit about this. And Doris. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Never smoke for Jeremy. Ever, Latoy. Ever. Keesha never has any smoke for Jeremy. If she does, we're not going to hear anything about it. Let's get this straight, y'all. Let's run it back. Right? Make my avatar larger. Okay. Keesha never has this smoke for Jeremy. And so what I think she's saying is Keesha and Jeremy are together. Keisha's treating him like the prince of the palace, the king. He's on a throne. Jeremy, Keesha pays for everything. Keesha pays the mortgage. Keesha pays the BG&E. Keesha pays the car payment. Keesha pays the car insurance. You guys ask, well, how do we know this? Because where's Jeremy's job? The first time I ever heard, and you guys let me know, like I said, let me know. The first time I ever heard about Jeremy having anything close to a job or anything that resembled a job was when they came on here. I think it was last year, guys, or either earlier this year, when they said that Jeremy has a job as a hostess for an Airbnb. That's the only thing I've ever heard. So, like I said, I need you guys to help me out with this because sometimes I don't know it all, but I know enough to go ahead and do a reaction. So let's continue.
Ribs with some barbecue chicken. Even though Papa had the nerve to have a request of some cream corn, some barbecue chicken, and some steak. I said, boy, what do you think this is? Applebee's? Like, not steak and barbecue chicken. Hello, hello, hello. Things have been chill lately. I ain't gonna hold you. And I hope that they stay chill. So this is not me trying to be messy. I'm not trying to stir no pot. I'm not trying to, but when I dropped my last video, I really appreciate y'all for, just sharing some of y'all stories and just really, giving me that support that I needed and help lifting me up. We had a few haters. But that's cool. All my life I had to fight, and that's fine. But I couldn't write my comment to every single one of y'all that had the same question, or basically like, well, where's his dad, or like his daddy need to. So like I said, I'm not trying to stir no drama or nothing. I just wanted for the people who have been following and have been on this journey with me. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I just, wanted to give my little update and my reasoning for why, my final decision as of right now, what I feel like is going to have to be for a while. And until something changes that I could update y'all on that. But like, this is kind of like my, my last time, like kind of.
I got you, India. Sis. I understand what you're telling me. All right. Thanks for that information, sis. Somebody else said that earlier in the chat.
Addressing it for this part, because I feel like I said, I don't see it changing anytime soon. So, just get into that. So long story short, I feel like it was just a few things where it just got to the point where it's just like, you know what? Because for a while, people was kind of coming at me like, you need to let him step up. You need to let him show that he could be a dad. You need to, bump all that. Let him get some responsibility, this and the third. So I'm like, you know what? Let's try that again. So I just feel like, in this trial of trying to co-parent, right? I feel like I really tried. I tried to put aside how I felt. There was times where, situations that would get posted or whatever, or things that would.
So guys, it's really kind of a sad situation because the truth is that Lely put herself in this situation. Lely, you knew that this man was with another woman. You knew that he was in a relationship, whether the relationship is taken seriously, whether we take the relationship seriously or not. Those are the facts, right? Let me read some of the comments that are in Lely's chat, right, guys? So listen up. That man child is only involved in his other kids' lives. Oh, this is a good one, guys. Because he needs somewhere to live. Him not being on the birth certificate will make your life so much easier down the road. You don't need his permission for nothing. Why is he not on the birth certificate? Guys, why is he not on the birth certificate? Can somebody answer that for me, please? Let me get to another comment. All right, so this is one that we dealt with, another dynamic where we're crisscrossing with Jazz and Medusa, and we're getting really into Liv. I feel like this one really hits the nail on the head with Liv and Nisha. Please, y'all, keep your kids away from people who don't like you, i.e., Liv and Nisha. Liv, this is how we know you're sick in the head. Oh, he didn't want to sign, Doris said. Okay, thanks, Doris. So, this is how we know you're sick in the head, sis. You sit up here and talk about that girl, Nisha, right? You sit up here and talk about that lady, and she has your kids. She wakes your kids up every morning for school. She lays your clothes out for your kids. She's washing and bathing your kids. She's feeding your kids. She's taking your kids to school and dropping them off on time. May I add? Hold on. Let's get into this. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all moving so fast. All right, so Verena says he didn't show up at the hospital. That's why he isn't in there. On there, okay. He said people would have seen him at the hospital because he is a celebrity. Girl, stop. Girl, stop. But yeah, don't let people who don't like you take care of your kids. I agree with that. But I also know that this is a very delicate situation. And I'm going to tell you right now, people say never say never. I can't do it. I'm not civilized enough to handle it. I'm telling you now. I told y'all I believe in ass whippings till death. If I'm 75 and I want to whip your ass, then that's what I'm going to do. And I don't care if you knock me down. I don't care what happens. I can't stand it. I don't have this temperament to be dealing with no side babies or no side baby mamas. I don't have it in me. So I wouldn't be doing it. Hold on. Let me see what else y'all saying. If she legitimizes him in Georgia and she goes for child support, he will get visitation and the baby will be around. Psycho. Psycho is Keesha, right? Remember, y'all got to remember. They got all the history, like how we got all the history on Liv being a psych ward patient. We got all the history on Jazz being a mother that was not so good to her children. They've got the history on Keesha. So let's continue, guys.
That would, be posted on YouTube. I'm really trying to be careful about my words. Like I said, I'm not trying to be messy. I'm not trying to throw no shade. I'm just trying to be transparent with the people who fuck with me because I fuck with y'all, right? So just different things that would be posted and that would cause up some type of a reaction. A lot of it, y'all would come to me and I will always tell y'all, like, don't come bring nothing to me, y'all. I don't care. But it's hard to say that when your child is, around people. So it's like I had to look at some of the stuff, but at the same time, just kind of take it for what it was and just try not to get too worked up, just try to let the situation play out. And, I know it's not going to be peaches and cream all the time, but, I just try to get to some type of understanding. But what I will say is that leading up to my final kind of decision, it's like, you know what, I'm cool on this, was really just, I had a dentist appointment for Papa, and it was early in the morning. So that day, the night before, he was at his dad's house. And as always, I have to go out my way to go get my baby, or drop him off. At this time, I had to go to their actual house. So, I work overnight, and it's just like I had to be at their house by like 7 a.m. So it was like, there was no point of me even going to sleep. So I literally stayed up the whole night, worked the whole night, stayed up until it's time to go get him. I'm exhausted. I'm tired, really not in the mood, but here I am this time, when I get there, I'm, brought to the living room to sit down on the couch or whatever. And a particular person feels like this is the time and place to start having a conversation, whatever. As she's talking, like all I hear is like basically She still hasn't letting things go. And for whatever reason, that's her reason. You know what I'm saying? Hey, take your time, do what you got to do, right? But just also like commenting on how me and him are co-parenting. And I just feel like, for one, I wouldn't even call it co-parenting. It just got to a point where I just said, listen, I'm gonna start bringing him to y'all every weekend because I need a break. I'm tired. Like, I'm not doing this by myself no more, bro. Like, I'm not. And you act like you want to see him. So I'm about to just start bringing him over. Because if I don't say something, you know what I'm saying, it won't be as consistent or as frequently, like trying to get a real schedule going, some consistency. So it just got to the point where it was like, I'm gonna bring them. And of course, you know, that.
Okay, Miss Toby, see, this is news to me. This is why I need y'all here. Miss Toby says, FYI, keep in mind that this isn't the first time Ash was pregnant by that bum. So you're telling me that August is from a second pregnancy by Jeremy. That's what you're telling me. And Vicky Sweets seconds that with that part. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Has its ups and downs or whatever, cool. Some weekends it was like, oh, I'm not gonna be there this weekend, but you can bring them to, it's okay, whatever. So when that would come, I would just take the punches and just go with it. I just kept trying. I'm trying at this point. And yeah, so I'm sitting down, I'm letting her say what she has to say. She's basically saying she don't like the way we co-parent. I just feel like that's not really your place. And we're still technically in a trial co-parenting. Like, it wasn't like we like been doing this for years. Like, this was literally what, like a few weeks, maybe a month. So I just felt like, you know, okay, noted. On top of that, I just felt like I said, you're talking about things that happened 3-4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, I
see, my thing with that is I feel like both of these women put themselves in this predicament. Jeremy played a big part. But if she already got pregnant by him, why would she continue to sleep with someone when she know they live with Keesha? Why would she do that to herself? Then proceed to have a child. Why would Keesha stay? All right, so this is a double-edged sword. Why would Keesha then stay with somebody who had a baby on her? None of it makes any sense. None of it makes any sense. Ashley was there before Keesha. How, Pure? How was Ashley there before Keesha? Give me a little bit more on that. Hey, Erica, sis. Give me a little bit more on that, because, you know, it's kind of vague. So let me know what's going on with that, Pure, if you wouldn't mind, in the comments.
I just feel like you don't have to like me, but to not like me, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a fine line between it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to like or not like somebody. You just tolerate them, cool. And which I feel like that's what I try to do. But to basically let it be known like you still dislike me, I just feel like I can't have that around my child. Like, I don't feel comfortable having my child in the presence of someone, even if he's still around with his dad. I don't feel comfortable as somebody who does not like me and has made it very clear they don't like me to have you around my child. I don't agree with that. And of course, he didn't have much to say. Anytime when we're talking, it always seemed like it's supposed to be the three of us sitting down. The most I will say that the only commentary he really had was when it got to the point where I had enough. I'm tired of hearing this. I'm done talking about it. I have an appointment to get to. Y'all live out in West Bumblefuck. I need to get home so I can get him changed and get him ready for this doctor's appointment. And you want to sit here and keep talking about 3 years ago, baby? I'm tired. I don't want to hear this, okay? So I started kind of getting loud because it's like, okay, I'll let you talk. Now it's my turn to talk. And I'm trying to let you know that simply this is not the time or place. If you want to sit down and have this conversation, another time and place where I'm not just like, you know, I'm thinking we're talking about how we're moving forward. You're talking about the past. I'm trying to talk about the future. We're already now on a great page. So I just felt like for me, I just feel better off not, because at the end of the conversation, I did say, and I will say, I did tell them, like, you know what, every weekend, I'll just make sure he's here. And, when I come back to drop him off, I will have my list of what I feel like is appropriate, not appropriate, what I feel like is disrespectful, what I feel like, I would like on my side from y'all, you know what I'm saying? Cool. In the midst of that, though, in this conversation, I was trying to say that, like, I'm not trying to fight no more. I'm not trying to be wrapped up in drama. Like, that shit stresses me out. And like I told them, y'all have each other. So when shit goes left or whatever, y'all have one another to help each other out. I come home to me and my son, and he can't lift me up. This time, August is so sweet. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get into that later because I'm going to change, the whole mood of this. I don't want to, drag it out, but it's just like, at the end of the day, how I feel should not be placed on my child. You know what I'm saying? And yes, for the people who, karma, okay, cool, whatever. But at the end of the day, my child does not deserve to have to feel that. You know what I'm saying? And feel the destruction that I feel, because it's just like, when is it going to come together? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's like, I feel like on my side, I am trying. And I'm just tired of being a bigger person. I'm tired of moving aside and saying how I feel doesn't matter and pushing it down, because no one talks about, the real mental part of all of this, of being a parent, period, point blank, whether you're present or not. Like, nobody talks about the mental struggles you deal with. And it's just like, y'all know how I am about my peace. I do not play about my peace. I'm not going back and forth about it no more, love. So, I try to leave it off where it was somewhat decent, right? It was sometime random in the week where August says, mommy, and then he says her name, but it was like a pause. So I'm like, okay.
All right.
Maybe he's like,
well, this is the part that they're really, I think the beef is about, right? Well, after I listened to Keesha's live a little bit, I think this is the part that pissed Ashley off. Now, this is the part that I don't understand. Now, he's what, 3 years old? This is the thing. And we touched on this. I feel like this is not the first time this has come up. We didn't touch on it in this chat, but I remember when Fran was live one time and she was talking about how Ashley was upset because August was calling Keesha mommy, right? Now, guys, let me know how you feel about this. And I feel like this is going to happen. You got the 3 girls over there calling Keesha mommy. At some point, August is probably going to slip up and call her mommy because they're calling her mommy. So I don't think it's that unusual. So is that what she's really mad about? Is she mad because she can't control what happens over there with Jeremy and Keesha? I don't get it. How could she possibly control that? She knew what she was getting into the first time. So what is the big deal now? I just don't understand it, guys. Let me know what's going on. I do not understand it. What is the big deal? No one wants their kids calling another woman mommy, or probably not daddy either. But how is she going to stop that? How is that going to be controlled? That's not something that you would be able to control. We have to focus on aspects that we are able to control. If you can't control it, you're going to have to let it go, since once again, you put yourself in this situation. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that.
Because sometimes people like, mommy, honey, mommy, like, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes, so I'm like, okay, maybe, okay, cool. So he's talking to me, mommy, da 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 da, same old, cool. Then it gets to another part in the day where he was like, her told me call her mommy. And mind you, when I sat on that lady couch, I asked him, I said, okay, listen, you want to complain about, it's so hard to move around him on the YouTube stuff. And, I've asked y'all several times, please do not put my child on y'all YouTube, whatever, da da da. All that, well, that's his dad, da 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 da. He's not legitimized. Let's be for real. He's not legitimized. So if I say no, no means okay. So, but like I said, I'm always trying to be the bigger person, step aside how I feel, and just kind of like just try not to make things harder and feel like I'm being a problem. I just said, like, listen, if y'all could just like, even if it's like you send me a part of the video that you feel like might be kind of controversial or might cause some type of drama or some type of reaction or whatever, since y'all act like I'm so dramatic, how about you let me know behind the scenes and we could talk about it. And then that way, you know, when it comes out, when the video comes out and people are coming to me and rushing me like, oh, this, that, and da, 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 I don't feel like I'm blindsided and I don't feel like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that feeling like where your heart is racing. It's just like, it's just like you crash out, and y'all know when it comes to August, I'm going to crash out every time. And I'm trying to grow and be more mature and stuff. So I said, like, let's just nip it in the bud. So that way we don't even have to worry about that. Right. So that's what I said. So when he came home and said the whole her told me call her mommy, it made me stop in my tracks and it really pissed me off. And I called my mama. And y'all know I love to call my mama. I called my mama. And I wanted to crash out. And she was like, well, you know, have a conversation with his dad and, you know, just see, you know, how the conversation goes and just go from there. So I'm like, you know what? You're right. I just sat in these people's house, told them like, I'm not crashing out no more. Let's talk about it. But before I could even talk about it, I think that was the next, and this was like Father's Day weekend. So like I knew like I'm gonna bring him over to his dad's house. But then that's when they dropped that video where August was saying, and y'all sending me like the clips and stuff where it's like August is calling her mommy, and it's just like, I've had it. I've had it. I'm done.
I just don't feel like that's that big of a deal, Ashley. I don't. And it's because when he's over there with the girls now, when he's with you and say they having a party for August, if Keesha is even invited. Because I feel like last time I heard about this, Keesha was not invited, but Jeremy went to the party, right? So then it would be weird if he called Keesha mommy, if all three of you were together. But when Keesha has those kids and she's doing the mothering, let's be clear, and she's doing the actual mothering. What is so weird about Augie calling her mommy? He's 3. He's not like 6 where he gets it. Isn't he 3, guys? Let me know if he's 3 or 4, but I think he's 3, right? And he's calling her that. Nobody asked anybody. I mean, nobody asked him to call them mommy, but she probably did. See, this is the thing. This is the part where some of the stuff I see what you guys are talking about Keesha. Keesha does play innocent. Keesha does play the, oh, I didn't know role. Because some of this stuff, and we're going to get to Keesha's live, guys. Just be patient. We're going to get to Keesha's live. I'm going to speed Ashley's live up a little bit. All right. But we're going to get to Keesha's live because Keesha talks about something very weird that I find very strange. Keesha is an awkward person. Keesha is weird to me. Some of this stuff that I don't have the history on that you guys talk about, I do see it. So, you know, I'm not, like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight, but let's continue and see what Ashley says about it.
I literally just sat here and talked to y'all and really tried. I really tried. And I just feel like motherfuckers just love pushing that button. So it just got to the point where I called up a lawyer and I was just like, hey, I just have a quick question. You know, called up a lawyer and I called a random family lawyer. I didn't black, white, I don't even know. I just know it was a man. Okay. And I said the situation, I'm not gonna go into details about certain stuff that was said, but she still blames me for certain things. She still accuses me of trolling, like I have time. She claims that she would, you know, like from my lives and stuff, she would see that I'm talking about her children. Like I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it was just so much where it's just like, so I'm telling the lawyer this, that, and the third, you know, blah, blah, blah. The dad's not legitimized, blah, 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 whoop de whoop. And he was like, you have every right to not bring your child over here if you don't want to. So I said that, and I left it at that. And I feel like, And I've always said, because a lot of people also ask me, why you don't just put him on child support? I feel like he told me from the jump he didn't want me to have this baby. I decided to have the baby because I made a promise with God. And within my promise, like I said, that
okay. All right, let's stop it right there. Now, y'all heard what she said. Germ did not want her to have the baby. See, this is the part where y'all losing me, where you and Jeremy losing me, right? If Jeremy didn't want you to have that baby and you knew, and I'm not saying anything against August or anything against, this is not a personal thing. This is just a question. I don't expect a real answer. But this is to women in general. When you're having babies by these men who you know ain't shit, when you're having babies by a man who is clearly with someone else. Okay, the girl Hazel, Ashley's BFF. Didn't Ashley and Ashley and Hazel have side babies? Is this the truth, y'all? Tell me what's going on here. Is this the truth? All right, let me read what India says. India says, Lely says she doesn't want to put him on child support because he told her he didn't want the baby. She kept the baby anyway. Therefore, she feels she's on her own. Right. And she is technically on her own. If a man tells you that he does not want a baby, first of all women are on their own when they have a baby, married or not. Okay? When you have a baby, if that man pass away, that's your baby. When you have a baby, if the man leave, that's still your baby. All right? Unless the man steps up and take your kids from you like Gerard did Liv, then that's going to be your baby. That baby going to be with you all your life. Right? So that's facts. All right. So you says stayed with the cheater and had a baby when she found out Ashley was pregnant. Right. That's what I'm saying. It's a double-edged sword. Everybody's wrong. Keesha is wrong in the right that she stays with Jeremy after he does this and tries to pick at Ashley. She's not wrong for staying with Jeremy. Let me correct that. Keesha is not wrong for staying with Jeremy. Keesha is wrong in the fact that if she's trying to pick with Ashley after she made the decision to stay in this relationship, that is wrong. Don't take it out on that child. And are you going to let these people live in peace? But how do we know Lely's not being petty? How do we not know that all three of them are being petty? We know Keesha gonna be petty. That's the part why I don't understand why she decided to stay. I feel like if she decided to stay with Jeremy, then she should also make a decision that she's not going to be petty about Lely. That's the weird part. All right, so let's see what Verena says. Verena says she didn't want Ashley to still be in the mix. Any chance Jerm and Ashley would have to still play around, she blocked it by telling Ashley, oh, we back together. She didn't allow Jerm to tell Ashley. Well, Keesha speaks for Jeremy all the time. We've seen this. Right, Southside. All right, let me see. So, yeah, I don't know if y'all answered this, but I'm going to go down to the bottom of the comments yet and see if anybody answered it. How was Ashley there first? And y'all saying Keesha picked her for Jeremy. Right, good question, Ezra's Mind. Let's bring it back home because sometimes I'll forget being distracted. Like, why is she still bringing this up, though? Well, she's bringing it up, Dr. A, because this is from a recent situation. See, they're always going to have a problem because nobody is being honest. Even though Lely says that, it's been 3 or 4 years, that girl is never going to forget about it, Lely. That's why I don't understand why she stayed with them. Right, Lex? The whole situation is messed up. That's what I'm saying. Why stay with him? You can't trust him. He's sleeping with other people with no protection. It's disgusting. A woman that even wants to sleep with a man with no protection when he knows he's with another woman. I don't understand the dynamic there. Like, what's going through your mind? I don't understand Keesha for staying. I don't understand Jeremy for putting himself out there like that, but he's just a bum that wants somewhere to sleep in a warm bed. And then you got Lely for putting herself out like that. when you had that baby, that just made it even worse. I'm not saying you shouldn't have had your baby. That's your decision. I'm just saying that makes the situation 10 times worse. Cheating is one thing, and having a baby by somebody doing a cheat is a whole different thing. Ashley and Germ went to the same school and became friends. Keesha went to high school with him, but he didn't have with her. So he didn't, I don't know if you mean hang with her or he didn't have a friendship with her. She did his homework for him. Keesha somehow hopped in his DMs. Oh, another woman hopping in a man's DMs. We've seen this before. When a woman hops in a man's DMs, be prepared to pay all the bills and be prepared to play the male role in the relationship, i.e., my Jazzy life hopping in Chris DMs. Jazz and Keesha are a lot alike, guys. They don't act alike. We don't see it visually, but mentally, all right, let's keep going.
Like I always feel like as a woman, from Anton, you know, with the baby, don't expect, you know, too much. So that's why for me, it's like I try, you know, you say you want to see him, you say you want to be present, you say you love him, you say this, you say that, but I feel like actions speak louder than words. And I feel like I'm just at that point where if you really feel like that, you'll do what you need to do to legitimize yourself and to, you know, make sure that nobody can stop you from seeing your child. For one. For two, I just feel like it's never a problem about seeing him until it's no longer an option. And I'm not with that. Like, I just feel like my baby, like, he's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's beautiful. And it got to a point where I had to stop carrying the guilt. And I had to just let it go. I had to let it go. Because what do I look like? I'm trying and 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 I'm trying. Then fast forward. And this, you know, after this, we're gonna change the subject, right? Because like I said, I don't want to drag it out, and I don't want it, like I said, I'm not trying to be messy or nothing. Like, I'm just being transparent with y'all. So fast forward to my son's birthday. I get a call from his grandmother. She was like, you know, we missed y'all, we love y'all, let me talk to the baby. But this was like late on August's birthday. This time is bedtime. It really irritated me. I'm not gonna hold y'all, it really irritated me. But I'm like, you know what? At least somebody reached out. Cool. Boom. At the end of the conversation or whatever, she asked, like, is it cool if his dad is present? Like, what are you doing for his birthday? Is it cool if his dad's present? I said, it's fine. I feel like, you know, let him see his dad. It is what it is. So I tell him the address, the first address that we were supposed to go to, and then in the morning I text her a new address and let her know, like, this is where we're going instead, the time and all that. Cool. So as y'all seen in his recap video, he did show up. Excuse me. But he showed up empty-handed. Excuse me. He could have brought, like, mind you, he showed up, excuse me, his mom, his stepdad, his twin was there. They brought their some nieces with them. It looked like he might have invited some of his homeboys, whatever, but like I couldn't really tell because we literally didn't say nothing to each other the whole time. He said two things to me. The first thing he said was, "Where is August?" And that was when he first arrived. And I, you know, found August, whatever, so he could see his dad. Okay, cool. And then the last thing he was like, "Do you have the little card that he was playing the arcade stuff on?" And that was about it. And I was cool with not having no contact, like, for real. But what irritated me is you came empty-handed. You could have came, like, his mom gave me a card or whatever that was from her and, you know, his twin and all that. But him himself, you literally walked in through the doors with nothing in your hands. Not even a mini cupcake with a little candle on it or one of them fake-ass balloons you can get from the bakery. Like, huh? Then you don't offer to help take anything out the car, to pay for a pizza, pay for a picture. You don't offer, you know, how much was the cake? Can I help cut the cake? Like,
all right, so now this part, she has some valid points here. So, Jeremy, you're telling me that you're going to your son's party. You contributed absolutely not one dime. Why? Because you don't have any money. You do not have a real job. Keesha is taking care of you. You're a kept man. Wait a minute. Let me read this first. When people said pick, they mean she was cool with them messing around because the other woman, as she claimed, talked too much. So hold on, Marina. I'm lost in the comments. So I don't know if you're talking about Keesha. I think you're saying Keesha said that Ashley talked too much. That's what I think you're saying. But I'm way behind in the comments, guys, but I'm still going to catch up. Germ even spoke on it in a Q&A that has now been deleted as many other videos. Okay, so I gotcha. So you're saying she's covering her tracks. Keesha is covering her tracks. Hold on, let me see. 2820 says, it's a whole lot to this story. You need to watch the Love Lies playlist line. Keesha claims that she gave Jeremy a pass to go out and have you know what, but not get anyone pregnant. Right. I do remember that part, 2820. All right, hold on. Let me come up. So India says, KK has deleted so many of her earlier videos. That would explain a lot. Done by design to control the narrative. Yeah. Now that part I can see. I can see that Keesha likes to control the narrative. All right, let's continue, guys.
Nothing. And I just feel like that was like just very loud and clear that like, I don't know, your motive is just, it's not what you say it is. And you didn't offer to take nothing back to the car. Like you kept whispering in August's ear the whole time. And I only know that because like I'm chasing around my homegirl's little girl. She's so cute to me, and we was just playing tag or whatever. So, and I'm trying to let August just have his fun, have his time. But the kids keep coming up to me like, "Hey, Auntie Ashley, where's August?" So I gotta go look for him, and he's with his dad. And it's like, this is really not your time. You're taking away, you're taking away the time he's supposed to be spending with his friends, the people that came to see him, that like be consistent in his life, so that you can say whatever you need to say to him or whatever. And I get you're trying to spend your quality time, but if you were really doing what you need to do, you wouldn't have to feel like that. Then on top of that, it just got to the point where it's like my homegirl was kind of sitting close enough to hear like him, saying little things on August's ear. And it's just like, I don't F with that. Like, I don't like that. Like, because then after the fact, all August kept saying was, my daddy said he's going to take me shopping. My daddy said he's going to get me whatever I want. My daddy, and it's just like, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. And you didn't come speak to me. Like, you're trying to speak to him to speak to me. Like, it don't work like that. It takes 2 seconds to say, hey, I want to take him shopping. Is that cool with you? It's like, it takes 2 seconds. Like, so I just felt like, you know what? I just feel like we just gonna politely excuse ourselves from this table, and we're gonna find a new table, and we good. I'm tired of, being gaslit and love bombed and stuff for me to be convinced to let him see the best. Like, I'm tired of it. And it just got to a point where it's just like, there's been comments where it's like,
from what I'm gathering here, it sounds like Germ is just basically a little boy. He doesn't think for himself. He doesn't go get his kids on his own. It seems like Keesha is controlling the whole scenario, guys. If you're having a party for him, and you know what? I'm sorry. He has to go down for child support. Don't ever feel like you can't take a man down for child support. Didn't he sign the deed to that house when Keesha bought that house? Okay, so if the man, God forbid, something happens to him, August should get something out of it. August should get something out of it now. I would take him down to child support, Lely. I don't care if he didn't want you to have the baby or not. Yeah, for the most part, you're on your own, but you still need to take care of your kids, and you need help doing it. Let me see. Hi, Christina, Trey, a couple people I haven't seen in the chat before, but welcome. All right, let's continue, guys.
Like, oh, everybody's moving on. You should too, baby. I am, and I have. But I just wanted to I just had to say what I had to say, so it's clear that I've tried. I've always defended the man, like that's still his father. I've always been an advocate. That's still his father. That's still his father. That's still his father. And I still feel like that's still his father. That's still his father. But at the same time, y'all know I'm not about to play about my baby. I'm gonna crash out every time. And I just feel like, it's sad. It is what it is. But at this point, like I've been telling y'all, it's in God's hands. And if they are moving.
Well, see, that's the part where it's not like a lot of empathy, because no one I've never heard anyone say, yeah, I had a baby as a side chick and it turned out great. I've never heard anyone say that before. So we know going into it that, yeah, it's not going to be a wonderful, great co-parenting relationship. I think it's because Jeremy is so immature. That's what I think is messing it up. I'm not saying Lely's the best ever, but I'm just saying Jeremy is immature, and it's because Keesha babies him. Keesha treats him like her son. She's sonning him instead of helping him be a man.
For it, I love that. Good for them. Like I said, because we on to other things. Like when August does talk about his dad or brings up his dad, I don't discourage him. I don't tell him, like, don't talk about him. I don't make it weird or anything. I just go along with it and, okay, baby, yeah. And I keep it moving. Like, I just, certain things though, I can't. And I'm cool on that one. So yeah. So y'all just pray for us at this point. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to be messy. There's no need to like drag it out or nothing. But let's just all in unison just pray, that things will get better. Because at this point, baby, ain't no point in even being mad about it. Ain't no point in even stressing myself about it. Ain't no point in even making it more than what it has to be. On my end, like, I feel like it's definitely important. However, I'm not going to force someone's hand. Like, when they're ready to move, they'll move. And hopefully by that time, it won't be either too late or it just, it's at a point where him and his son can get to an understanding, because it ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, it is what it is. But most importantly, like, even if it came down to like, when it came down to even like at some point when we were first trying to co-parent, trying to even just get him to come to the park and stuff, it would be like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have a car right now, or I don't have this, I don't have that. But then yet, you could be out and about when you can be out and about. And it's just like, I feel like, you showed up to the park once, but then the other time it was like, oh, the girls have this, oh, they got a photo shoot, oh, cheerleading, oh, it's just like, okay, cool. Like, I just like, it's always some type of excuse or some type of reason.
Let me see. Germ will always write gifts IOUs to Keesha if she didn't give him money or credit card to buy it. He shops for himself to flex. Weird. Keesha is being manipulative and controlling. Now, I've heard this so many times before, so I know it has to be some truth to it, but I saw some of this in her live. So we're going to get ready to move on to Keisha's live, guys, because I think we pretty much got what Lely is saying. KK does it all documented on the YouTube streets, yes. There's a recording of Keesha says that Ashley was the perfect candidate and the other girl talked too much. Okay, thanks for clarifying, GWD. All right, so let's continue, guys. We're going to do 2 more minutes of Ashley, a couple more minutes of Ashley, then we're going to move on to Keisha's live.
For a reason. And I feel like August.
If you guys can go ahead and hit the thumbs up for me, I'd appreciate it. To those of you new who are in the building, thank you for supporting. Hit the thumbs up, guys.
Her like prioritized with everybody else, and I hate that for him, and I don't. I can't do it. Like, it just is what it is. So that's the elephant that I wanted to address. I just feel like I said, for those, this was just addressing it for those who have been following, who've been keeping up with the story, who've been on, the situation. Because I know some people, just now coming in, that y'all might not really get what's going on, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Welcome if you're here to support. If not, we good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we good over here. But I just feel like that option, like how I told y'all, like I feel like I try to exhaust all resources. I feel like that got exhausted, like that. I tried, I really did, and I just feel like, don't force it. Don't force it. Whatever is in God's plan, I'm keeping my faith and just knowing that when it's time to work it out, it'll work out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, God's timing be everything. So we just gonna focus on that. But yeah. So as far as like updates and stuff, I want to look at some of these comments. Yeah. Oh yeah, one thing about Papa, that man likes to eat, y'all. That man likes to eat. Y'all heard him listen off his stuff. That man don't play. He like.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna move on to Keisha's video. Hold on. It is titled, I Really Must Address This. Let's clear this up. All right, so give me a second. All right, India, thanks, sis. I got my my cover up ready. Sis, is this good enough? You think that's good enough for it, sis? I got my cover up ready. All right. Right. I mean, look, thank God I never had to take anybody to court for child support. But yeah, I do think, I used to have different opinion on child support. Just looking through you guys' comments. I'm about to put the Keesha thing up. So hold on, let me see. All right, so but Ashley has to know she can't just be throwing him off when it works for her. Right. A conversation should be held. Part of growing has to start with maturity on both sides. I mean, you would think by now, hold on, let me get this damn banner out of here. All right, let me do it like this. Put this one here. All right, you would think by now that Ashley and Keesha would have had some type of agreement, or see, the thing is, it's not really Ashley and Keesha, but because they're the only two mature parties involved, the women, most of the time, as usual almost, but not in every case, but in this case, you would think that they would already have something in place. It has been 2 or 3 years now since this baby was born. All right. Let me see what else you guys are saying. And then we're going to pull up Keesha. Are you aware that she is sue happy but has only shown up in court once and the judge made her look like a fool and said she didn't want to? All right. Yeah, I know about that whole Keesha has like she's always saying she's going to get her legal team and her lawyer and all that kind of stuff. So let me see. All right. So you says, if you aren't being a fully invested parent and your environment is toxic, you won't have access to my child. Right. But Ashley, all right, hold on. We already read that one. All right, let's see. Jeremy letting Keesha take control of the situation because he don't care. And you know what? This is why I said that her and that Keesha and Ashley, even though Jazz doesn't have a side baby, or well, it's kind of a side baby, but we won't get into that. Um, and Jazz and Medusa are very similar because I heard Keesha talking. Oh, I'm gonna try to find that video where I heard Keesha saying something about it was like a hint that she wanted to get custody of August from Lely. I don't know if you guys have seen that video out here, but it is out here. Um, right. So Jeremy letting Keesha take control of the situation because he don't care. Keesha only want August over their house for content. It brings her more views because people want to see what's going on with August. I agree. Ain't no way in hell I would allow my child to be in the presence of a woman who doesn't like me. And that's what I was getting into in these comments, guys. These comments are lit, okay? Under Lely's video, people had a lot to say. All right, so let's go ahead and bring Keisha's live up. I'm gonna put the Keisha, hold on. Let me put up the make sure I put up the what's the name? The overlay. All right. All right, guys. Let's get into it. Share screen. Not really must address this. Okay. Let's get into it. All right. Wait a minute. Oh, it was mute.
When you're on the internet for a hobby, anything pretty much goes. Like you don't really have any regrets. You just like you have nothing to lose. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So being an influencer, being where I sit at, I've always had to like keep in mind this or keep in mind that or be told by my management or this, that, and the third. So in that regard, when I say it like that, I have a lot of regrets or like times where I wish I can go back in time and have come forward a little bit sooner rather than later. Oh, y'all. I'm trying to make sure I'm being very, very mindful of what I say because I don't want to say I'm upset right now and take it there. I've literally been doing so much internal work, you guys. In December, I joined a prayer group, a women empowerment prayer group. Um, Watching about my vlog or what they're watching about my life, that's just noise. I don't deal with that. But when it comes to be a point where you already know where I'm going with this, my character is being assassinated for no apparent reason. My children are being assassinated for no apparent reason. It gets to a point where I'm like, okay, I've let a lot of stuff go down and a lot of stuff slide within these last few months behind the scenes. And we're going to address all of those things respectfully. Because I just feel like it's always the same song and dance over and over and over again. And I hate being looked at as the big bad wolf. I actually hate having to come forward on my platform with the brand that I've worked hard and the subscribers that I've worked my ass off to get by myself, literally over these last almost 10 years of being a content creator influencer. Like, I worked my ass off. I didn't get clout off of someone else's name. I didn't come on here using somebody else's name to grow myself and brand myself. I did this for me. And a lot of people continue to use that to their advantage on their own platforms. And to each his own. If that's how people got to make their money, is by talking about me or putting me into their mix, that's one thing. But I just can't stand, because I've gotten several calls from that video, from that live stream. And I'm going to tell you what the triggering thing that while we're sitting here right now is. I've gotten several calls, several DMs, let me see. Y'all, I take so many pictures of the girls. We went to the circus yesterday. I meant to make like an album. Let me see if I can find this one. There's one, y'all. I get literally, I get so much stuff a day. I'm gonna see if I can. Oh, is this it? No, this is not the one I want. This one from today. Oh, there it is. This, like, getting stuff like this randomly to me. Were y'all able to read that? Can y'all see that? It wasn't more so the first sentence. It was more the next part where it said I was a sick asshole, or really asshole, and I need my butt whooped and to be medicated. And then I had to go back to the first sentence because I realized the reason for all the tension and the frustrations this person had was because of that first sentence. Something that is 100%.
One thing I have realized about Keesha, and I think this annoys a lot of people because I know people at work like this, they're very passive aggressive. They want to say something without saying something. They want to tell you something, but really not making it direct. If you're going to comfort someone or you have something to say, why beat around the bush about it? And why take 90 years to say what you need to say? Get it out. Say it, and say it with your chest. Stop tiptoeing in the tulips, okay? Nobody has time for that, Keesha. Go ahead and say what you need to say. You've joined a prayer group. You've been doing this. You've been doing that. Don't have nothing to do with what you came on here to talk about. So let's get to it, sis.
Percent false. So Ashley went live, and once again, in true fashion, the live is, of course, getting turned into a bash fest towards me. The questions are always asked and posed to her, which, if that's her prerogative to discuss her personal business, that's her personal business.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Now, that's not true. Ashley did not turn that into a bash fest. She was mostly talking about Jeremy. But what she's saying is because Jeremy is so heavily influenced by you, and because, see, this is what happens. Keisha's going to make Jeremy look good no matter what, right? My thing is, if you're so busy trying to, see, Keesha only does stuff to help Jeremy to try to make her look good. It all comes back to Keesha in the end. Because when she said about that, something she's gonna mention later on this video, we didn't get to it yet, but I'm gonna try to listen out for that part so I won't skip it. If you want to make yourself look so good, if you want to make Jeremy look so good, why didn't you give Jeremy any money to contribute to that boy's birthday party? It's no way that Ashley should be paying for each and everything by herself. She's already probably paying her whole rent by herself, paying all her bills by herself, paying for her in August to have a place to live. He should at least have called he should at least call Ashley every year, not just this year, but every year. I don't know if his birthday was this year or last year, but I think it was this year, before his birthday, and say, hey, do you need help with anything? Can I buy the cake? What does he want for his presents? Do you need some money towards the venue? Anything will help. Anything is better than nothing. And I just feel like he just is not doing his part. Well, it's not a feel. He's not doing his part. But when he's over there, Keesha wants to make it seem like she's being the best, I guess, stepmom that she can be. We're going to see her talk about that in just a minute.
Her personal business starts to be about me and my children and lies and the victim mentality. That's where we have to just train on up. And y'all know I deal with receipts, so I'm going to produce receipts. I can't wait to produce these receipts because I hope the disrespect and the lies that were so loud the other day, the apology or the retraction of a statement can be as loud. I prayerfully hope so. Do I believe it'll happen? No, because there's been plenty of times in these last few years where I've produced receipts and it's just here like this. Oh, didn't see that, didn't hear that. So this person actually was asked, why is co-parenting not working with Jeremy? And once again, I hate to have to come and be the middle person to speak about their co-parenting dynamic. But since the reason that was given had
Keesha, you're at this point, you're inserting yourself. Why is Jeremy not on here explaining that? That's a question for Jeremy because you are not the parent. Now, we all know the sad truth is that Keesha is actually the parent of Jeremy. So Jeremy is the parent of August, but Keesha is the parent of Jeremy. Make no mistake. And so she's going to step in as his mom. Okay. She's going to step in as his mom and / girlfriend, and she's going to handle it for him like she does everything else in his life. Jeremy, you need to be a man and you need to address this issue publicly since Ashley has addressed it publicly. That would be the grown-up thing to do.
had something to do with me. That's why I feel it is well within my right to speak about it, tastefully and respectfully as I can. I'm not going to give all aspects and details of the behind the scenes because I don't believe in coming on the internet doing that. But we're going to stop the brakes of this train before it gets a little bit further out of hand. Because like I said, the calls, the text, and you know what you did today. I'm not talking about Ashley, but Troll, you know what you did today because I know you're watching this. But I'm not going to speak on that because it's not your time to shine. This is my time to shine. But it's like a lot of the bullshit that I have to deal with. But when asked of why co-parenting was not working, the exact answer that was given was because I, Keesha Kaylee, told her child to call me mom. And I'm like, wait, what? I haven't seen her son, Jeremy's son, my daughter's brother, since almost June of last year, 2023. Here it is, literally almost June 2024, a whole year later. And it's been brought to the internet, something that happened or something that could have been clearly and easily rectified. But that the victim mentality that Ashley has is so disturbing to me. So let me go ahead and tell the truth, and then I'm going to produce my receipts to follow.
So another thing I don't like that she's saying that Ashley has this victim mentality. One thing I cannot say about Ashley is that ever since, all this came out, Ashley has taken full accountability for her role. She was wrong, but like she said, she can't allow the guilt trip to continue. All right.
So first things first, the last time I saw August was June of 2023, like I said. Prior to that, his birthday is March 2023. And Jeremy was not able to see August. Not going to talk about that. But when we were able to see him was the end of May going into Father's Day weekend. He came with us. We ain't going to talk about all the stuff about that. But I knew how much it hurt Jeremy to not have spent August's birthday with him. The girls, they didn't really know nothing about it. They're kids. But one thing that I always talk about with my friends, family, blah, 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 when we talk about the situation at hand is like one thing I personally feel bad about is like the memories that the girls will be able to always have with one another and their dad. He won't have that with his sisters and his dad. And this, like, unless, this day forward things change, which I prayerfully hope they do. But that's what I had always discussed. So when he came with us, right after the girls' competition, when we got back from Miami, Florida, he came back with us because he was actually with us prior to us going to Miami. But like I said, every time she gives us to him, it's just like when she wants to give him to us, not when we planned it, prepared for it. So Jeremy always has to just accept it because that's his only time he gets his son. So she decided, yep, he can come over there. And we had already planned to be in Miami for the girls' cheerleading competition. So he was there with us for a little bit, and he had to go to his mom's house for the time while we was in Miami. Then when we came back, he came back with us. Came back with us, all in dandy. When he came back with us, I was like, you know what? How about this? Which y'all watch Jeremy's vlog. I'm pretty sure you guys saw that. So I'm going to give a little bit more context. I pretty much said that, I really wanted August to have like a mock birthday with his dad and his sisters, of course, and myself. He's going to grow up have these memories, but more importantly, his dad and his sisters. So let's go to the jumping place and let's go out to eat afterwards. Let's get a cake. Let's sing happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. I don't vlog as much. And during this time, I had got my real estate license in January. So I had been doing my real estate thing and I had already stopped the consistent vlogging. However, during this time, Jeremy picked up vlogging. So now he's the vlogger more. So even to this day, he's more the vlogger of family than I am at this point because he puts out at least 2-3 videos a week. And whereas me, I'm just putting out one unless hair is also coming out. So in the video, you guys see Jeremy. You can go back. I'm pretty sure the video is still up on his channel. You see cute moments of us at the jumping place. It's more so them, like even times where he took the girls to the park and took the kids to the park or did stuff with all of them. I always sat back because I always said we have not as adults sat down and had a conversation about the.
Why is this woman so long-winded? Keesha, get to the point. Okay, you're telling too many details that we don't care about.
dynamic and everything is always just like randomly thrown on us when we get him, and we're not properly able to sit down as adults and discuss like this is what needs to take place, this is what the boundaries are, this is what she's comfortable with, this is what he wants to do, blah 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 blah. We've never had that. So when he came to us, it was kind of like, okay, we just gotta adapt and roll with the punches, and that's exactly what we did. So I thought,
so exactly, why you and Jeremy live together, right? Why haven't you guys ever had the discussion? You had the discussion about how you probably don't want him to be around her. I bet you had that discussion. You had a discussion about how you wanted to give him a hall pass, but you can't have a discussion about how to conduct your channel or filming for your channel, whatever the details are when it comes to August. So why accept it, Keesha, if you're not willing to deal with all that comes with it? It's very strange, very weird.
being the big bad Keesha that I am, like this was a great idea. I didn't need any brownie points. This is not something I announced to the world. I'm just now telling y'all this now. I think Jeremy kind of mentioned it in the video, but I told him to like, it's not even really that, because I know he knows I mean well, but I don't need to try to prove, because that's what it looks like when he tries to, whenever he says something positive about me. Towards the end of the video, you guys heard August like, we was at Red Lobster. Y'all, that food was disgusting. But towards the end of the video, you heard him say like, Keesha, crab, because they was looking at crabs and he wanted me to come see the crabs. He called me, blah, blah, blah. I went over there. The next day after that, I told Jeremy, like, look, because which we're going to get into with the receipts. We were having some issues throughout the last however many days we had him. We were having some issues. And, one of the biggest issues was going to be a permanent one. So I said, you know what? You need to tell her, like, when she come and pick him up, we got to sit down as grown adults and we got to have this conversation, because I'm not going to continue to do I'm not going to do it. Like the stuff that he's doing at our house or the things that are going on, which I'm about to tell you guys, I don't want this to be a problem. Like we need to address some things. We need to hash some things out. We need to be able to be adults about the situation and move forward. He talked to her. He said she was willing to have a conversation. As soon as she gets to the house the next morning, which was like 7 o'clock in the morning, mind you, I had just had my third surgery. Like y'all remember, I just had the surgery in May, I believe. So right before we went to Miami, I just got the girls done. So it was a lot going on during that time frame. So we was not anticipating having him come over and doing all this chaos. But anyways, nevertheless, he's here. We're happy to have him. Like, let's do what we need to do as adults. So I'm not going to be petty and get into the temperature of her demeanor, but you ever went and sat down with somebody who really just don't give a fuck about what y'all about to talk about? That was exactly what it was given. Like, it was literally given like, bitch, I'm just here to collect my son and pretend like I care. Like, literally, that's what it was. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. Me and Jeremy sat on different couches, so it wasn't like us against her type of thing. Like, he sat on one couch, she sat on one couch. Like, we were separated type of thing. So it was kind of like we all in our respective spaces. Like, let's just have a conversation. We had a conversation. It went south. And the only reason I'm speaking about this is because she decided to speak about this, but she decided to leave a lot of stuff out. And I'm not going to talk.
All right, guys, let me read some of these comments underneath Keisha's video, because she's so long-winded and it's annoying. So hold on, I don't know what that is. Hold on. All right. So somebody says, shaking my head. This is insane. Let it go, for goodness sake. If he wants real boundaries, make an agreement to do his fair share without the court. And if that can't be done, he can file child support on himself, like Gerard did, guys. Then he gets his time. If he is unwilling to do that, what else needs to be said? The song was petty AF, to be honest. You were singing it hard in the car. I don't know what she's talking about. Then to ask for a sit down is wild. I'm not saying Ashley is without fault, but with an album to keep track of her and the viewers, yikes, things will never be resolved that way. The voice recording, all right, so she's talking about the voice recording that Keisha's going to play later on the video, is cringe, because it's like, hold on, I'm losing my place. Oh, because it's like, what were the intentions behind recording it in the first place, then using it as a receipt? And I don't know if y'all saw, Ty Cherie had posted like a little snippet, because she talked about this a couple months ago. Like, I bet Keisha's saving something in her back pocket. And this is what she was saying, right? So about the voice recording, why are you keeping it? Why are you keeping receipts? Like, what are you doing here? That's weird. The kids are so innocent. All right, I'm back to the comment. I think there's just so much hurt on both ends that it's pointless to rehash every detail. You all will have to start fresh, and your kids' relationships depend on that. Right. Right. It's too much. It's too much buildup of crazy stuff in this threesome. It's too much of a buildup of hurt, anger, and most of all, resentment. Resentment on Keesha's part that she stayed with him and he is worthless and not doing anything to better her life. Resentment on Ashley's part for knowing what she was getting into. All right. So hold on, let me see. And people keep saying, why doesn't he just go to court? He doesn't care enough to go to court, guys. If he cared, he would have done that. Just like Chris doesn't care enough to send money to Medusa when he can just get her Cash App and send her a couple dollars every month. He does not care. And apparently she doesn't either because she's not proceeding with getting the child support. Let me see. All right, so I don't see any other good comments. All right, let's get back to it.
The conversation was very short, so it's honestly none of y'all business, the magnitude or the specifics. Like, I know how she likes to be petty and like, oh, Keesha wanted to talk about this. So the reason why Keesha wanted to talk about the past and things that was going on with the past is because those things were actually still taking place in the present, like bullying my children, allowing people to dox me and my family, like, and all these things. All this ties into where we are now. So make sure y'all are like holding on to this, because I'm going to tell y'all what the freak happened a few months ago as to why I'm so confused that she would even have the audacity to sit on the internet and talk about me giving what I'm about to tell y'all happened a few months ago. But I never would have came to the internet had she just not did this. But like I said, I'm being very respectful and very tasteful, so just bear along with me. So during that conversation, like I said, I took time to speak about, like, I deal with receipts. So as soon as he told me we was having that conversation, I pulled out my nice little file and I'm ready to show and discuss receipts. Because when it comes to my kids, there's no expiration date for me to check yourself. There's no expiration date for that. If you've ever done something to me, and especially if you're gonna have dealings with me, I'm gonna check you whenever I see you. So I know she wanted to be petty and say, Keesha, want to talk about old stuff? Yes, I did. Most certainly. I had receipts. That was however long the disrespect was taking place. I had the receipts because I wanted you to see, I see what you do. I see how you respond. I see how you react. I see all these things. I want you to see that I see it, so you can't deny it when you're having an adult conversation with some people who don't like to take accountability. There was no accountability in the room. There was no accountability in the room whatsoever. And that's why I kept saying, like, well, do you want to see? I got here, but no, I don't want to see. Okay, cool, whatever. So I guess it's just, I mean, you know pretty much what I'm talking about. That's why you don't want to see the receipts. But after he was like, oh, where to go? I don't really want to be here type of thing, that energy. The only thing I do recall her talk about, which I'm going to give her most valid points throughout the entire conversation, the main two things she wanted to talk about was Jeremy's song, which had nothing to do with me or the price of tea in China, literally whatsoever. I don't write Jeremy's songs. Jeremy's song has nothing to do with co-parenting. Had a problem with Jeremy's song. She could talk about that with Jeremy. On her and Jeremy time. But right now, during Keesha time, when I'm finally on one of these meetings, because they didn't have several meetings, y'all. So this is my time to shine. Because I already told Jeremy, when I sit down, this stuff that be going on behind the scenes with my kids, I'm gonna clock it. I'm gonna clock it. And that's exactly what I was doing. So I did that. And yes, I do admit that I was talking about old stuff because the clocking was a lot. And I needed to go down my laundry list of things that she did so we can know in the future, be mindful. Because if you want me to be the type of person to invite your son into my home, respectfully, nurturing, and which I'm gonna do regardless of whatever our disdain is. And I don't even have disdain. I have disdain for the situation and how it's being handled. All the other stuff, I'm mature enough to realize what happened was a very foul and effed up thing to do. But if I came on here every single time I went on my channel and my blogs and had a pity party for what happened to me, y'all would be tired of me. Y'all will unsubscribe. If I came on here every single time me and Jeremy were in therapy and we had to hash it out about the past, y'all would literally lose y'all's freaking mind. So I feel like I'm kind of like in a never-ending cycle of make Keesha the villain so I can continue this narrative of the as long as I possibly can as to why I can't co-parent. And that's just not fair. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to the children. And it's just not truthful. And that's why I am respectfully coming to the internet right now, because I know this is the only way to get through to her. Because when I tried to do it in the privacy of our home, she yelled, she woke the kids up, over the banister because she's yelling in the house at 7 o'clock in the morning. Wait, Jeremy had to tell her several times, and I'm trying not to be petty, y'all. But he did, since we want to talk about what I did, he did have to tell her several times, like, hey, the kids are asleep, hey, da-da-da. They come looking over and she's not changing her tone. She's not thinking like, oh my gosh.
All right, guys. So look, we've been up here for 2 hours and 45 minutes. I've had some technical difficulties. It is raining. I feel like this internet is going to start acting up on me again. So I'm going to resume this Keesha and Ashley conversation some other time, but I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with me. We will get into Keesha on another live, guys. Hold on one second. Yeah, but guys, we can see this is an ongoing battle. It's never going to end. And a lot of people in Keesha comments said they're disappointed in her for still dragging this on. Okay. They're saying, Keesha, did you talk with your therapist about before coming to the internet? All right. So we're going to get into all of that. But guys, we're going to go ahead and end it here. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And out in these YouTube streets. Bye.